we have a new WWE Universal Champion. Last night at WWE Payback, Roman Reigns defeated The Fiend, Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman to become the WWE Universal Champion for the second time in his career. Now, I loved it. I think some people might say that The Fiend was a transitional champion. Whatever. The main thing here was the story. It's the heel Roman Reigns partnership with Paul Heyman. I thoroughly enjoyed Payback. Many people criticized WWE for booking two pay-per-views 7 days apart, but they absolutely nailed it. Two great shows, a lot of great matches, and logical storyline progression. I'm excited to see where it goes next. And the heel Roman Reigns pairing with Paul Heyman is money, isn't it? It's absolute money. I was excited for Payback tonight because of the Reigns-Heyman reveal. And with Roman Reigns' WWE Universal Championship reign and win, I'm already excited for SmackDown to see the next chapter. So credit to WWE for this pairing, credit for WWE for this storyline. It feels big, it feels different, and it's very, very entertaining. So let's break down what happened last night with Roman Reigns becoming the WWE Universal Champion. But first, before we do so, let's have a closer look at a great supporter of WrestleNews 365. Support for WrestleNews 365 is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Now, Manscaped, for all of my UK fans out there, Manscaped just launched in the UK. Over here in the United Kingdom, we have gone for years and years and years without using the right tools for the job. But now you can be one of the first men in England to experience their life-changing product. But it's not just limited to all of the great fans over here in the UK. This offer goes worldwide, so all of my friends over in America and around the world that are listening to this offer still does apply for you. You can still use our code. But I've got to tell you a quick story first. Now, there have been so many times, right? I'm a guy. You gotta groom down there, fellas, right? That's the most important thing. You gotta keep yourself trimmed. You gotta keep yourself proper. And a lot of the time, I've been guilty of this, of using the wrong tools for the job. I've had incidences, I'm not afraid to say it, where things have been nicked, snagged, or in fact cut down there because I wasn't being careful enough and using the right equipment. Now that just shouldn't happen. That shouldn't happen. You don't want to be worrying about cutting yourself down there. Do you know how painful that is? I can tell you, it hurts quite a lot. And I wish and hope to God it never happens to me again, and it won't happen to me ever again because I'm using Manscaped products. That's why Manscaped has redesigned the electric trimmer. The Manscaped engineering team has perfected the greatest ball hair trimmer ever created. Big statement, but it's absolutely true. They have just released the new and improved Lawnmower 3.0 in the UK. It's also available around the world as well. Their third generation trimmer features a cutting edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents. So those cuts and snags that I was telling you about before are a thing of the past. And let me tell you, when I tell you this is premium, I mean premium. The battery will last up to 90 minutes so you can get a longer, perfect shave. And not only that, you don't want to be cutting yourself and trimming yourself all over the bathroom, getting hair all over the place. That's just disgusting. The lawnmower has a waterproof technology that allows you to groom in the shower, so no more mess. And one of the coolest features, one of my favorite features about the lawnmower is the LED light which illuminates grooming areas for a closer and more precise trimming experience. So you can shave longer, you can shave more precisely, and you can shave in the shower. What more do I need to tell you? They've also upgraded to a 7,000 RPM motor with quiet stroke technology, and let's not forget about the charging stand. You can show off your mower loud and proud because this intelligently designed stand is a convenient charging dock powered by USB. So, if you are listening to me speak right now, I want you to experience it firsthand for yourself. Let's get that bush to tush clean, and you can get 20% off and free shipping. Yeah, you heard me right there. 20% off and free shipping. All you have to do is use the code 365wrestle at manscaped.com. Make your testies their besties. That's 20% off and free shipping. Not only are you getting 20% off, you're getting free shipping as well with the code 365wrestle at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com, and use the code 365wrestle. Your balls will thank you. So, the main event of Payback was for the WWE Universal Championship no holds barred triple threat match. The Fiend defending the WWE Universal Championship against Braun Strowman and the returning Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns' first match inside of a WWE ring since March time, since prior to the pandemic, prior to WrestleMania and all of that sort of stuff. So the Fiend comes out. The Fiend makes his entrance first. He had no Fiend title with him this time, thank God. That Fiend title just never did it for me. I'm a fan of custom championships. I really am. But that Fiend title just why would you have a title with someone's face on it? I didn't get that at all. So he had the blue Universal Championship. Maybe he had it because he was going to drop it so quickly. It would have been a bit strange to have that picture of Reigns holding up the Fiend's face to close the show. Maybe it would have been quite a good shot. I don't know. But no Fiend title here, thank God. Inside the Thunderdome, man, the Fiend's entrance is just something else. You can criticize WWE for a lot of things, but production in terms of entrances, lasers, pyro, the look of it, the Fiend's entrance is just tailor-made for the Thunderdome. The production there is just absolutely fantastic. It is so good. So as the Fiend is making his entrance, Braun Strowman attacks the Fiend from behind out of nowhere, and the match starts. Braun Strowman hits a power slam for a 2 count. There's no Roman Reigns yet, and this would be the case for the majority of the match. The Fiend and Braun Strowman just beat the hell out of each other. The Fiend hits a Sister Abigail on Braun Strowman, gets a 2 count. Braun Strowman at this point, as I mentioned previously, Braun Strowman is a heel now. He's turned. And with that turn, he's changed his look up. He's got the bald head. He's got different ring gear on now. He doesn't have a shirt on anymore or anything like that. I think it looks good. I'm down for seeing people evolve and change things up, as long as it looks good. Not in the case of a Keith Lee, where he's wearing a skirt and a skin-tight top. I think the case of Braun Strowman here, I think he looks great. I think this new look offers him something different, and he's evolving, and it's the start of this new heel version of Braun Strowman and a different version of Braun Strowman. I think he looks very, very good. So they brawl to the outside. The Fiend hits a Uranagi on Braun Strowman through the announce table. Alexa Bliss, they cut back to Alexa Bliss a couple of times in this match, and Alexa Bliss is watching backstage. Now she's got a braid in her hair in the same way that the Fiend has braids. So she's watching him, and the commentators referenced her a couple of times. The Fiend at this point... Now I must say, actually, I was going to say this in a couple of seconds, because they go back to Alexa Bliss a second time, and this is when I thought this is where they're going. But I think it probably makes more sense here with the spot that happened next. So Alexa Bliss, she's watching the Fiend backstage. And obviously the Fiend attacked her several weeks ago on SmackDown. Everyone the Fiend touches, they change. Last week on SmackDown, we saw that Alexa Bliss had the Fiend braid in her hair. As soon as Nikki Cross referenced the Fiend, she went crazy, smashed their friendship mug that they drink coffee out of, right? And people are saying, oh, is Alexa Bliss turning heel? Is she changing character? She's absolutely changing her character. But she looks to me like she's got a bit of an infatuation for the Fiend. She's a little bit obsessed with the Fiend. Because you've got to remember, the Fiend locked in the mandible claw on Alexa Bliss. Everyone was horrified. You had those people on Twitter, those stans, saying that the Fiend should go to jail. Well, I hate to break it to you, but if it's on Fox, it's not real. And that's just in general. But the Fiend, the following week, goes to do it again, and Alexa Bliss, she sort of strokes the face of the Fiend, and the Fiend reacts, and there's a bit of tension there. So Alexa Bliss, as she's watching last night, she looks like she's interested in the Fiend. She's digging him. And she's got her hair tied up in those sort of pigtails, in the same way that a Harley Quinn would from the Suicide Squad back in 2016, the iconic Harley Quinn look with Margot Robbie. And I think what they're going for here and what they're trying to do here is a Joker and Harley Quinn style relationship. That's what they're going to do, I think. And people might roll their eyes at it, but the Joker and Harley Quinn, their partnership is very, very popular. It was always popular, and I'm saying this as a fan of someone that reads DC Comics. It's always very, very popular in the comics, in the books. But when that Suicide Squad movie came out in 2016, it didn't make it made money, critically acclaimed. It was not. But one of the most popular things coming out of it certainly wasn't Jared Leto's Joker. But how often did you see on social media or Instagram or Halloween, any of that sort of stuff, everyone was Harley Quinn and the Joker. They love that relationship. People love the misfit relationship between Harley Quinn and the Joker. And I think that's what they're doing here. I think they're going for Alexa Bliss is going to be Harley Quinn. The Fiend is going to be the Joker. They're similar kind of characters, right? The Joker, this psychotic madman that after a while, because he's such a great villain, you kind of love, even though he's sadistic. I think that's what they're doing here with The Fiend and Alexa Bliss. And to put a point on this, The Fiend, and he pulls out his giant mallet from under the ring. So he's full on the Joker now. He's got his giant mallet. Strowman throws an announcer's chair at The Fiend, which was shade of the Roman Reigns rivalry that he had with him. But at this point, there still is no Roman Reigns in the match. Strowman now has the mallet, but The Fiend blocks it. The Fiend then hits Strowman in the gut with the mallet. I think that's the first time we actually seen the mallet actually be physically used as a weapon. Usually he just pulls it out, but he actually hit Braun Strowman with it at that point. The Fiend then attacks Braun Strowman with the steel steps. You see Alexa Bliss still watching backstage, interested in The Fiend, playing with her hair. Braun Strowman and The Fiend then brawl up the ramp. Braun Strowman spears The Fiend off the stage through a table set up off the stage. And this is when we really start getting crazy. So you're thinking all of these spots are nuts. We then get back into the ring. Braun Strowman goes up to the top rope. There's a superplex by The Fiend. The ring implodes. Now, could have done without the whole ring imploding. It's been done to death at this point. Once was enough, I think, for the ring imploding. Twice it was like, okay, nice throwback, but you're pushing it now. So, obviously, the Big Show and Brock Lesnar did it first. Iconic spot. Brilliant. Loved it. Then he did it with the Big Show and Mark Henry. It made sense. They're two giant men. It worked. It's kind of like, okay, you've done it twice now. Don't do it again. They did it again with the Big Show and Braun Strowman. The Big Show was the constant there. So you go, well, okay, fair enough. But Braun Strowman and The Fiend are really there enough to break the ring. You can have battle royals with 30 people in there. And apparently Braun Strowman and The Fiend are enough to break it. No, I didn't like that. But of course, The Fiend and Braun Strowman, they're down as the ring has exploded. Charles Robinson fell out of the ring. He took a bump. And then suddenly the music hits. Here comes Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman. Was a little disappointed that we didn't have new music for Roman Reigns here. We had the same logo, the same music. Everything was the same. And I do think eventually they might change it. It's a great opportunity, right? You've got a new version of Roman Reigns, a heel version, a different character. I mentioned there about Braun Strowman. He's changed his look. He's changed things up. I was hoping that Roman Reigns would do the same too. He might still do. It's absolutely a possibility. So don't get too attached to that, but I think it's a possibility he might. So Roman Reigns officially signs the contract. He's in the match. He has a chair in his hand. He drops the chair. He says he needs a ref. Paul Heyman brings out a referee. The Fiend kicks out at 2 twice. Reigns then beats the hell out of Braun Strowman with a steel chair for a 2 count. It was very much the shades of Steve Austin beating up The Rock at WrestleMania 17. Very much that style. But Braun Strowman kicks out. The Fiend then, he managed to get the mandible claw on Roman Reigns, but Roman then hits a low blow on The Fiend. Reigns then spears Strowman for the 3 count, and we have a new Universal Champion. And I've got to say, again, this is a bit like the Keith Lee Randy Orton match, where almost the match is kind of secondary to the story here. I don't really care about how great or not great the match was, because it's the result that's the big thing here. It's the story that's the most important thing here. New Universal Champion, Roman Reigns is new Universal Champion. I don't know about you, I'm pretty damn excited to see where this new heel Roman Reigns goes. I thought this finish was very well done. Was the match a cluster? Yeah, it was. It was a cluster. I thought they didn't need to do all of those spots. The announce table, the ring explodes, the dive off the stage, the mallet, the steel steps, all of it. They could have done without all of it. You know, they could have had a couple of those spots, but I thought the ring imploding, I thought was unnecessary. But it was to weaken The Fiend and Braun Strowman, right? So I guess that's why they did it. But I enjoyed the match. And most importantly, I enjoyed the story. I thought it was a perfect double turn. Roman is officially the heel. He won the match by a low blow, and he entered the match with 2 minutes to spare. He took his time. He wasn't a fair competitor here. He certainly wasn't a babyface. And who did he low blow? He low blowed The Fiend. Who do you feel that's robbed out of this? You feel that The Fiend has been robbed. So The Fiend is the face here, and I think it's going to be good. Now, in terms of the finish, in terms of Roman Reigns becoming the Universal Champion, Everyone saw it coming, right? It's the opposite of SummerSlam. SummerSlam was you never saw it coming. This was the opposite. Everyone knew, I think, in their heart of hearts, that Roman Reigns was going to become the Universal Champion here. It had been reported for a while. But regardless, I thought it was very well done. It's exciting. It's different. Roman Reigns having an edge to his character is great. This version of Roman Reigns is the Roman Reigns that can be the centerpiece of the company. This version of Roman Reigns is the Roman Reigns that can really make money. This is the version of Roman Reigns that is going to be really popular. And look, he didn't even break a sweat really when he won the title. He didn't take his shirt off, by the way. And just ask how Keith Lee, how hard that is to get your shirt off and work. Vince McMahon, he loves shirts nowadays. And now, as I mentioned, was the match overbooked? Was there too many bells and whistles here? Yeah, I think there probably was. And the whole contract thing, I think that was just to ensure that everyone knows that Roman Reigns is the heel here. He took his time. He wasn't the dumb babyface. He didn't arrive till late. He waited for the guys to beat themselves up first. And the low blow is a heel move. The chair shots to Braun Strowman and The Fiend, that's Steve Austin style. Again, it's a throwback to WrestleMania 17 when Steve Austin turned heel. It's a double turn. I thought it was very, very well done, and I'm excited for SmackDown already. And as I mentioned at the start of this, how often can you say that? How often can you say, as soon as the pay-per-view went off the air, I can't wait till SmackDown because I want to see what they do next? I haven't said that about WWE in just forever. Really, I haven't said that about WWE in such a long time, and it's absolutely true. When is the last time have you ever said, I can't wait for SmackDown? I can't wait for SmackDown because I want to see what they do. I'm excited. I want to see this version of Roman Reigns. What's going to happen next? Are we going to see a true babyface Bray Wyatt, or is he going to be the same as The Fiend? And what's this relationship between Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman? I'm excited, and I haven't been able to say that about SmackDown and WWE for a long time. Now, I think if they're going to change Roman Reigns like they're doing, I would change him completely. Change the music. Maybe, I don't think you should need to change the ring attire. I've seen some people say, you should go back to wearing like trunks and tights. No, I don't think so. I don't think Roman Reigns looks cool like that. The whole point of this is to get, ironically, Roman Reigns over as a babyface. They want to have him be a cool babyface. How do you make a cool babyface? You make him a heel. You make him a badass. So that's exactly the right thing to do. So I think to do that, I think he needs to maybe change up his ring music and his logo and all of that sort of stuff. But I think the way he looked last night, I thought he looked great. I thought he looked cool. And, let's do something different, right? Let's do something completely different. If we're going to go for a change, let's change. Now, Alexa was watching The Fiend in the match. Braun Strowman is different as well. He's a heel. You've got heel Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns, Universal Champion. There's a lot going on here. And there's a lot of story going on here. But I like it. This heel pairing, this heel Roman Reigns paired with Paul Heyman is already money. I was excited for Payback last night because of the Reigns-Heyman reveal on SmackDown Friday. And I'm already excited for SmackDown to see the next chapter. So credit to WWE. This feels big, this feels different, and it's very entertaining. And how often have you been able to say that about WWE? So enjoyed the match for what it was, but what I really enjoyed, a bit like the Keith Lee, Randy Orton situation again, was the story. And I enjoyed the outcome. And you know that this has been done well, because could you imagine in any other circumstance, The Fiend only being WWE Universal Champion for a week? People would lose their minds because they would be like, this is BS. He's a transitional champion. Why didn't you just keep Strowman as the champion and have him lose the bout here? But people don't care because the story's good. And that's always been the case. If the story's good, people will allow anything. If you're entertained, people will allow anything. And that's exactly the case here. So I enjoyed the match for what it was, but what I really enjoyed was the story, and Roman Reigns is the new WWE Universal Champion. So that was WWE Payback. What are your opinions on last night's show? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'll be sure to respond and reply to all of your comments. Really enjoy interacting with you guys on this channel. If you have enjoyed this video, please do smash a like on the like button as well. It really just helps us out here on YouTube, go up the rankings and get into people's recommendation feeds here on YouTube. But most importantly, if you haven't already, please do subscribe to Wrestle News 365. You can do that by clicking the bottom right hand corner of the screen right now, or if you wait a few seconds, there'll be a subscribe button at the end of this video along with another video for you to watch. We're closing in on 800 subscribers now, so if you haven't already, please do subscribe. You can also follow us on our social media platforms. The handles are on the screen right now. The links are in the description box below. It's at 365Wrestle on Twitter and at WrestleNews365 on Facebook and Instagram. So be sure to give us a like or a follow there if you haven't already. Thank you very much for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. And I'll speak to you again very, very soon. Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.